The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion reveals the attraction of 35 industrial projects with an investment volume exceeding 800 million Omani Riyals. And discussing draft media law and briefing on draft law on personal income tax are reviewed in the 7th session of the Shura Council. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The United Arab Emirates is preparing to welcome His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq tomorrow with celebratory displays in the capital, Abu Dhabi. The significance of His Majesty's visit lies in its reinforcement of the historical relations between the two countries, pushing forward mutual interests, enhancing cooperation, and strengthening the bonds between the two brotherly nations. The Sultanate of Oman and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, are bound by fraternal bonds and strategic partnership. These bilateral relations are witnessing a remarkable progress thanks to the support and attention accorded by the wise leaderships of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates. The two leaderships are keen to elevate the relations towards wider horizons in a manner that serves the interest of the two countries' peoples and maintains security and stability in the region and the world at large. The distinguished relations between the two sides are based on economic and trade partnership. The state visit of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq to the UAE tomorrow and his meeting with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan assume a great importance. The visit aims at promoting the bilateral relations and pushing them forward towards wider horizons. During their meeting, the two leaders will exchange views on the regional and international developments. The Sultanate of Oman and the United Arab Emirates strive to boost the effective cooperation between them on the principle of mutual interest in various fields. Many initiatives, statistics and insights were revealed by the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion during its media meeting of 2024. More details in the following report.
The Sultanate of Oman has charted an ambitious course for transitioning to a knowledge-based economy with achieving access to a digital society through the development of the National Strategy for Omani Digital Society and e-government efforts. During its media meeting, the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion revealed 42 different initiatives and electronic services through its digital platform as a continuation of the government's efforts in comprehensive digital transformation and to enhance the investment and business environment in the Sultanate of Oman.
We're here to basically elaborate and to discuss the importance of digital transformation. I mean, digital transformation is now a given. It's the way of life. And unless we do not transform digitally and make our services available online, we are way behind our goals.
The electronic platform launched by the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion during the past year offer a comprehensive suite of electronic services to the business community and its beneficiaries across various sectors. The percentage of digitized services on the Oman Business Platform reached 89% of the total ministry services, while the number of investment opportunities framed through the Invest Oman platform reached 51 opportunities, with an investment volume exceeding 1 billion Omani Riyals. Furthermore, during the past year, industrial projects were signed with investments exceeding 385 million Omani Riyals.
In our vision, it's important that everything is available on the tip of your fingers, and that is on your telephone. We hope that we can achieve the transformation from going paperless, from being paper to paperless, from being able to achieve most of your assignments and most of your requests online. And this is basically the aim that we're looking at. We've done a considerable amount of work to transform digitally within the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Investment Promotion. and we hope that this is going to be well received by one and all.
Statistics also indicate that the volume of foreign direct investments in the Sultanate of Oman exceeded 25 billion Omani riyals by the end of the third quarter of last year. Additionally, the total volume of trade exchange between the Sultanate of Oman and countries around the world increased to reach approximately 37 billion and 600 million Omani riyals during 2023. It's noteworthy to mention that the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion launched during the media meeting an immediate response initiative at Invest Oman Lounge to enhance the business and investment environment, quickly identify challenges faced by investors and directly intervene to address them. The immediate response window is managed by a specialized team that is fully prepared to serve investors. The team also monitors, develops and improves all challenges faced by investors. Through the media meeting of the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotions, we got to know the prominent achievements of 2023 and what we are looking forward to in 2024. And the question remains, which new heights will we reach with those achievements for the Sultanate of Oman? For Oman TV, Ahmed bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Muscat.
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning announced the issuance of 3 service tenders within the Sultan Haytham City project, the first phase 2024 to 2030, in which construction work has begun already. The tenders relate to the construction of main and secondary roads and sidewalks, the establishment of an electricity, water and sanitation services network, broadband communications and district cooling networks, and the establishment of 3 conversion power stations. His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al-Khalili, Chairman of the State Council, received His Excellency Ibrahim Boughali, President of the People's National Assembly of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and his accompanying delegation. During the meeting, they reviewed the historical relations and common ties that bind the 2 countries, the development they are witnessing in all fields, and ways to develop parliamentary relations between the State Council and the National People's Assembly in Algeria. In the 7th regular session of the first annual session, members of the Shura Council discussed the draft media law and the amendments proposed by the Media Committee and the Council's Legal Committee. Council members also considered the discussion request submitted to His Excellency the Minister of Labour regarding temporary employment initiatives. During the session, the draft electronic transactions law, the draft individual income tax law, the draft law regulating the transfer and transplantation of human organs and tissues, and the draft public health law will also be briefed. The media conference of the new nature reserves in the Sultanate of Oman affirmed the pivotal role played by reserves in preserving the environment and conserving its natural resources. The conference also emphasized that the establishment of 3 new reserves reaffirms Oman's approach to achieving the goals of Vision 2040 with its environmental and natural foundations that preserve ecological balance. More details in the following report.
The Sultanate of Oman places great importance on the Omani environment and its natural resources. The media conference announcing the new natural reserves emphasizes Environment Authority's commitment to involving the community and informing them about its executive plans for the reserve's operations, development and sustainability. During the media conference, discussions revolved around the new reserves and revealed the plans outlined for their establishment, and also emphasized the significance they will add environmentally, economically and socially. It was emphasized that the royal decree and Oman's concerns for environmental aspects, especially reserves, give significant attention to protecting endangered wildlife and plant life, preserving their components, diverse terrains, and rich geological formations, as well as enhancing ecotourism and economic aspects.
We are very happy to proclaim such protected areas in those new governorates, North Batana, Buraimi and Zahra. And as Environment of Authority, we are looking to invest the ecosystem services in those reserves. The main ecosystem there is the Jebel Hajar Mountains area, and this area is very important for activities such as camping and hiking, and we hope to finish the management plan soon, so we can float such activities to the private sector in Oman.
After the issuance of the royal decree establishing 3 new reserves, Al Jabal Al Gharbi Reserve, Al Dhahira Natural Reserve, and Al Buraimi Oasis Reserve, the number of reserves in the Sultanate of Oman becomes 30, covering an area of approximately 15,000 square kilometers. The speakers at the conference affirmed that Oman is proceeding with well-thought-out plans to achieve the environmental targets of Oman Vision 2040 regarding the preservation of its natural resources, maintaining environmental balance in various aspects, and achieving Oman's aspirations for reaching net zero emissions by 2050.
The Ministry of Social Development, in collaboration with the Arab Gulf Development Program, AG Fund, launched today the National Guidelines for Childhood. These guidelines consist of 6 components: National Standards Guide for Nurseries Activities, Guide for Nurseries for the first level from birth to 1 year, Activities Guide for Nurseries for the second level from 1 year to 2 years, Activities Guide for Nurseries for the third level from 2.5 years to 3 years old, Healthcare Guide, and Parental Care Guide. His Excellency Dr. Nasser bin Bakr Al-Qahtani, the Executive Director of AG Fund, stated that the launch of the National Childhood Guidelines represents a step in the right direction for a project targeting children grounded in scientific perspectives, addressing the needs of this fundamental group in society. The launch event included the graduation of 90 trainees from the second batch of the training program for supervisors working in childhood development institutions. The inauguration was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Hilal bin Ali Sabti, the Minister of Health. Still to come in our news bulletin. The University of Nizwa holds its first annual English language teaching conference. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The forecasts and analysis from the National Multi-Hazards Early Warning Center indicate that the Sultanate of Oman's weather will be affected by a low-pressure system starting from next Tuesday until Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Clouds are expected to flow and form with chances of scattered and varying intensity rainfall, occasionally thunderous and accompanied by strong downdraft winds. The predictions also suggest hail fall leading to the flow of wadis in the governorates of Al-Buraimi, North Al-Batana, South Al-Batana, Al-Dhahira, Masqat, Al-Dakhiliya, North Al-Sharqiyya, South Al-Sharqiyya and Musandam. Represented by the National Multi-Hazard Early Warning Center at the Civil Aviation Authority, the Sultanate of Oman hosts a regional workshop titled Modeling Inundation from Tsunami Waves and Preparing Evacuation Plans for the Northwest Indian Ocean. The 5-day workshop, which began in Muscat today, is being attended by 70 participants from Northwest Indian Ocean countries and representatives from the National Committee for Emergency Management and SEM, the Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance, ACDA, academics from Sultan Qaboos University, SQU, and international experts and observers. The workshop also lays emphasis on effective community response to the dangers of tsunamis, with the prime aim of realizing the objectives of the UNESCO's Decade of the Oceans to Tsunami program. The program, which targets communities exposed to tsunamis, envisages 100% preparedness by 2030. The workshop's recommendations are expected to outline modern methods and practices on evacuation plans before and after disasters like tsunamis. The recommendations will provide guidelines for national and regional centers, advising them about how to handle disasters and deal with the warnings as soon as they are issued. The Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs organized a training and qualification program for occupants of legal positions in units of the state's administrative apparatus. The program discussed the foundations and skills of preparing legal consultations, contract provisions, and drafting, in addition to discussing litigation procedures and pleading before the courts. More than 3 million cubic meters of water were retained by dams in the wilaya of Madha or Mhava, Brahmi Governorate. The Ministry of Agricultural, Fisheries and Water Resources said that the heavy rains that the wilaya witnessed during the last weather condition contributed to the flow of all its wadis, which led to the filling and flooding of all 6 dams in the wilaya. The dams contribute to supporting the groundwater reserve and feeding the wells and fallages during periods of frequent droughts or lack of rain. The Sultan's armed forces continue their efforts to deal with the effects of the recent weather conditions that Oman has experienced in the past few days. The engineering services of the Ministry of Defense and the Desert Battalion of the Royal Army of Oman implemented today plans to reopen several main and subsidiary roads and provide potable water in Al-Haima area in the wilaya of Ibra and Niyaba of Samar al-Shan in the wilaya of Al-Mghaybi in the governorate of North al-Sharqiyya, and to level the road in the Tahwa area in the wilaya of Al-Kamil wal-Wafi in the governorate of South al-Sharqiyya. This comes as part of emergency response efforts to deal with the effects of the latest weather conditions. Under the theme Navigating the Digital Shift of ELT in Oman, the University of Nizwa held today its first annual English language teaching conference to highlight the importance of promoting education and learning through innovative techniques and modern technologies. More details in the following report.
Tailored to overcome challenges and leverage opportunities in teaching English across various learning environments, the University of Nizwa held its first annual English language teaching conference, focusing on navigating the digital shift of English language teaching in Oman.
We are here trying to discuss the challenges that we are going to face, or we are facing in the higher education institutions, especially in the foundation program across the Sultanate, and that's why it's a chance for us to share our best practices to solve these problems and maybe to teach better students with new technologies and whatever is coming also in the teaching field with using technology in the classroom.
The conference marks a significant stride in the evolution of education amidst the digital era, gathering experts and educators to deliberate on integrating technology into language teaching.
I think educational institutions need to be willing to embrace the new technology. They mustn't be afraid of it. They need to look at how they can leverage it. It's going to be the future. We're going to become, it's going to become a tool. AI, it's already a tool that we use in our everyday lives, and we need to encompass that in our learning and teaching of English, so that learners are able to use AI in their learning to enhance their studies.
Today we went through different aspects of vocational training that we do in terms of competency-based training, and what we did was a little incorporation of what we call AI within CBT. So how we incorporate AI within competency-based training in order to prepare our students and learners for their professional world, in order to equip them with the skills that they need for their real work.
The event showcases a range of activities, from keynote lectures by distinguished speakers to interactive workshops and comprehensive plenary sessions to stimulate meaningful dialogue and foster the adoption of technological advancements. The insightful discussions of the conference will inspire the ELT community to bring about transformative educational practices and enrich language learning across diverse contexts. From the University of Nizwa, Saleh Bukhalfan al-Rahbi, الداخلية, Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. Abu Dhabi prepares to welcome the visit of His Majesty the Sultan to the United Arab Emirates tomorrow. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion reveals the attraction of 35 industrial projects with an investment volume exceeding 800 million Omani riyals. And discussing draft media law and briefing on draft law on personal income tax are reviewed in the 7th session of the Shura Council. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and stay safe.